I'm Nicole Papiano-Lugara from Your Instructional Designer, and I'm here today with Tameka J. Harris. Tameka, can you tell me a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yes. Hi, Nicole. First of all, I am enjoying this opportunity and thank you so very much for bringing me on.
Oh, thank you
I,
for being here.
this is fantastic. It's an honor. In short, I am a broadcast producer turned instructional systems designer. I fell in with instructional media or through instructional media and have not looked back ever since. So I enjoy bringing color to the boring, to the black and white, to the mundane stuff. And that is basically where I'm deciding to basically root my career. My career just started not too long ago, so I'm still very much a newbie. I started in January of 2016 by going to get my master's in instructional design and technology from Full Sail University.
Hmm.
And once I completed that project, actually, when I was in the middle of that program, I landed my first gig as a e-learning developer. And from there on, have just been moving forward with great traction, I must say, in the industry.
What is it that you spend most of your time doing? Because instructional design, e-learning developer, like that means a lot of different things to a lot of people these days.
Yeah. And I'm grateful because most people who are e-learning developers or instructional designers, we usually are the one-hatted wizards that I'm sorry, the multi-hatted wizards that are in the back rooms making things happen. And so as an e-learning developer, I got in underneath an instructional designer, being able to kind of hide under their wing, learn the tools and the authoring systems, and really try to put a lot of what I learned in college to practice. It was a rocky, dark lit road. I went to work every day shaking in my boots because I felt like at any point these people are going to find out I'm an imposter. I don't know what I'm doing. There were many days of defeat. And when I say days, I mean years of defeat. And it's something that I don't wish for any newcomer to the field. But it's almost like being in a gym, because when you are going through those moments of uncertainty and doubt and fear and worry and doubt and fear and worry all over again, it
All the
builds
good stuff.
muscle over time, and then you become, all of a sudden, one day you look around and you're like, I'm okay with uncertainty. I'm okay with fear. I'm okay with doubt. I may not know what the end of this project is going to look like at the end of the day, but I am on the journey to figuring it out. And so being an e-learning developer first really helped me to figure it out and really start to fill out my role as an instructional systems designer, now a senior instructional systems designer at Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Sounds like you're a very resilient, persistent
Oh,
person.
Nicole, let me tell you, girl, it was a hard start. It really was a hard start. I don't miss those days at all, but I still very much remember them. And if there are any new instructional systems designers out there who are just starting out, let me tell you, it's not for me, and I can't say for everybody's journey, but it just wasn't easy. But if you are willing to hang in there and keep at it and just show up, this is what I told myself, Tameka, if you could just show up every day, you'll make it. And I'm a living witness to that.
That's awesome. I mean, not
Yeah.
everybody powers through, and I've seen your work. I think you're awesome. So
Thank
I'm really
you.
glad that you did. I don't know if you heard the fireworks going off in celebration of your accomplishments.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Literally. um, I think you have an advantage that a lot of us in the field didn't have, which is that one, you had this interesting broadcast background, and two, then you went on to get formal training in instructional design or instructional systems design. And most of us don't have that. I'm included there. So is there anything you took away from those experiences, even though the struggle was hard, that you feel like was really valuable to what you're doing now?
Yeah, it's always great to improve yourself from a formal standpoint. However, there's this tug of war and there's this constant debate, right? Is it necessary that I go to school to learn what I need to know to do this work? The real answer to that is no. This work thrives off of experience, connecting with others, doing the work. Like you could know all you want, you could learn all you want, but can you practice that in the real world? And a lot of times what we learn in the classroom, and this is my personal journey, what I learned in the classroom didn't always translate to real world experience. And I then had to basically, I don't want to say scrap, it's a catch-22. It's like, I'm grateful that I went through that. I'm grateful that I went through formal training, but it's really my informal training that informed me so much more and illuminated my mindset and my ability to have confidence in this work all the more. I'll never forget, I was, as this e-learning developer coming into the field, new, I reached a boiling point where I had to get a job done and I didn't know exactly how to do it. And then remember I said I was hiding underneath the wings of the instructional designer that I came up under? Well,
Yes.
that person left.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So then all eyes, all spotlight was now on this very new individual coming into the field to do this work. And I remember I reached a boiling point, Nicole, and the first thing that came to my mind was, girl, get you a book, and I don't know what led me to this book, but it was the only book that was my saving grace, and then totally helped me continue building my own, what I call my ID success library. And that one book was Map It by Kathy Moore.
That is my favorite.
It is my
Right
ID. It's my ID Bible. I carry it with me everywhere. I tell everybody about it. Her book was exactly what I needed to gain the confidence I needed to. I'm like I told you, I'm shaking in my boots. All these people, these SMEs want answers, and I've got to get this work done. What do I tell them? How do I tell them? I can't just go on with what they want. Like, it's that constant thing going on. And so Kathy Moore, it's like she was sitting in the book, basically standing, looking at me, telling me, girl, here's what you do. And that book saved my life. That book saved my career. That book is exactly why, it's one of the reasons why I'm honored to be on this show with you today. Because it just gave me the jewels I needed to thrive in my own way. And then once I got used to the uncertainty, then my own personality started to flourish with my career. And that's when you really start to feel good about yourself in some way, when you can start to take methods and strategies into your own hands and start building your own stuff in instructional design. It was just, so Kathy Moore, thank you. I hope she gets, thank you. That book is amazing, and every instructional designer needs to get that.
I 1000% agree. I think I recommend it at least 5 times a week. Like,
it's amazing.
It is. It's such an easy, practical, it's just a great book.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
So I think you've given me a lot of gems already. I mean, there's a lot of wisdom in there for people who are, starting to make that transition. And you're right, it is a really hard one. And there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, and you're going to make mistakes and design some terrible stuff in the beginning because you're too shy to speak up, or because you don't even realize what you can do.
Yeah. And exposure too is so minimal.
Definitely.
When you're starting out, you don't get to see other people's work,
right,
to know what's right or what's wrong or whatever have you. So it's a lot of bumping around. It's a lot of hitting your head. It's a lot of stepping on your toes, but it's humbling. And it's, this is the only profession, I think, or one of the only professions that constantly keep you grounded. we say that there are some experts and people. Yeah, there are some people who've been around the bend and they've got years in the game, but it's nothing like a journey in this industry that keeps you absolutely grounded. Every day I'm learning something. Every moment, every project I'm learning something, and it keeps my ego. If I, had one, or, all of our egos, we have them. It keeps it so humble every time, because you may miss the mark and you got to figure out how to survive over that, and how to make it better. So it is a great industry. I'm so glad I switched when I did. Instructional media, and I think you had asked me this before, Nicole, instructional media broadcast, I thought that was going to be my goal. And it still in a lot of ways is the entertainment side of what I do. But I enjoy marrying entertainment with education a lot. And it just illuminates what I do all the more on the ID side.
It's really great and awesome. And I hope everyone that's listening now is thinking about this, but there's so many ways to combine your passions in the instructional design and learning field. And it's amazing that you've been able to do that.
Yeah. It's been awesome.
Is there any one piece of advice? I feel like this whole thing has just been great advice, but is there any one piece of advice you just feel like anyone who wants to be in the learning industry or in the instructional design space should know, should have, besides
bring your I would say bring your whole self to the industry. Like you've seen me kind of merge my color and my personality and my background in media and entertainment into instructional design. Whatever you've got in your background, bring it to the field. Create your own niche in instructional design. There's so much room for you to be the individual, the unique person you are, the unique professional you are to this world. At first it was difficult to try to connect the dots, but I've learned over time that connection was just clear, getting clearer and clearer every time I stepped forward to a new role or did a new project. Total disclosure, my background in undergrad is communications, media management, and then I got a master's degree in entertainment business. And I was just like, well, I can't stop there. The reason why I couldn't stop at the first master's was my mother and my grandmother, my late grandmother, both got 2 master's degrees. And I said, oh no, wow, they can't outdo me. And so I was looking around for another, and actually it was time for a transition in my own path. But instructional design, instructional designers who are out there, or folks who want to join us in this work, bring all of you to this work. Bring the quirky, the weird, the out of the box, the crazy, bring it all to the field. We need it, because the way people learn changes every day. And we need all of who you are to capture their attention and to capture their engagement while they learn.
That is spectacular advice. Easier said than done also.
Oh, yes, easier said than done.
Well, Tameka, is there anything else that you want to make sure you tell people before I let you go, since you've been so gracious to share your time?
I am honored to just help newcomers to the field. I am also very active on LinkedIn, so check me out on LinkedIn. Some new content will be coming out soon. It wasn't until my second job in this field that I started to really niche myself, knowing kind of, oh, this is working. So I am niching myself to all things compliance and, that black and white policy, all that black and white, boring mundane, mandatory stuff. It needs color, it needs life, it needs personality. So I'll be having some conversations about compliance coming up soon. Check me out on LinkedIn, Instagram, HelloTameka.isd. All things HelloTameka on most of all social media platforms. I'm just honored to connect with everyone. And Nicole, you have my heart.
It's been really fun talking to you today, Tameka. I'm so happy that we got to do this and continue to exchange, outside of this little YouTube video.
Yes, absolutely.
If you want to know more about Tameka, she's given you all the ways to contact her, but there's some easy links you can follow in the description below. So definitely make sure to check them out. And until next time, thanks for joining us.